Hi, this is Alken, and welcome back to my channel. We'll be discussing the Trump verdict a little later because I'm trying to still figure out all the details about the verdict and so on. But something else came up. Apparently, some senators wanted to meet with Judge Roberts about Judge Ito's flag flop, whatever the heck. Seems like Judge Roberts does not want to speak to neither one of these knuckleheads from Congress. As far as he's concerned, it's a dead issue, and that's how it's going to stay. If they don't like it that he's not going to rescue himself, that's too bad. They could go pound sand. You know, they got what they wanted in New York, but they're not satisfied with that. So go pound sand. I think it's a ridiculous argument because even I didn't know about the pine tree flag was involved in some controversy with the January 6th. I never seen the flag until recently. I had no knowledge of that. So, you know, sometimes people misinterpret or deliberately do stuff to flags, you know, either flag burning, or they do different interpretations what the flag is all about. They thought the godsmacked flag, the yellow flag with the snake, 13 pieces for the American colonies, they thought it had something to do with slavery. No, it doesn't. The northern states didn't have slavery. By the time that flag was created, there was no slavery left in the North. It was only in the South. Except for Delaware, I think. It was the last state that got rid of slavery. Ironically, the Joe Biden state. Figure that one out. The same state that had this guy came with the Confederate flag running around in the Capitol on January 6th. Say, hey, that is the wrong flag for revolution. I'm sorry. We don't support the Confederate flag. That's, I mean, listen, I'm a Duke of Hazzard fan myself. I love the General Lee, but I do not own any copies of the car. Photos or models or anything. And was never interested in the Confederate flag thing. Well, anyway, this is what happened. According to ABC News, Robert rejects Democrats' call to discuss Alito's refusal to rescue over flags flop. Now, there's two flags involved now. The Chief Justice cites separation of powers concern. This is what happened. Chief Justice John Roberts on Thursday declined an invitation by Democrat Senators Dick Durbin and Sheldon Whitehouse, both of the Senate Judiciary Committee, for a meeting to discuss the court's ethic practices in the light of the recent flag controversies involving Judge Alito. As he did when he declined to testify publicly last year, Roberts cites separation of powers concern and the need to preserve judicial independence. He says meeting with the leaders of one political party as the court is deciding matters in which the party has a distinct interest would create an interesting appearance. In other words, it would be kind of not pass the smell test. Alito on Wednesday rejected Democrats' call for his rescue from the cases related to January 6th Capitol attacks and the 2020 elections at the flags flown at his personal residency sparked controversy. Alito provided further details of the incident as he responded to the request from Senate Judiciary Chairman Durbin and White House to Roberts that Alito rescue himself from such proceedings. They did the same thing with Clarence Thomas. They should rescue himself. That didn't work. So again, they tried again with another judge. That didn't work. The flag flying incident first reported by the New York Times. I'm a shareholder there, and I'm not very happy with them with this. That's not the only reason why I'm mad with the Times. Including an upside-down American flag outside his Virginia home and an appeal to heaven flag at the couple New Jersey beach home, both symbols carried by some rioters on January 6th. I never saw the flag in all the photos and stuff I seen on January 6th. I never saw it. And I had no idea this thing even existed. Alito told lawmakers that the incident was not in any way his doing. He revealed that the case of the upside-down American flag, which he said was raised by his wife, Martha Ann Alito, during a nasty neighborhood dispute. He actually told his wife to take it down, and she refused for several days. You know, when me and my wife had a dispute, I don't always get my way. And he had a Supreme Court judge, he didn't get his way either. So you're going to override the judge's wife? There's something wrong with you folks in the Democratic Party over there. My wife is fond of flying flags. I am not, he wrote. My wife's solely responsible for having the flagpole put up in our residency, in our vacation homes. I've flown a wide variety of flags over the years. Alito said his wife is an independent-minded private citizen who possesses First Amendment rights like every other American. She makes her own decisions, and I have always respected her right to do so, he wrote. She has made many sacrifices to accommodate my service on the Supreme Court, including the insults of having to endure numerous loud, obscene and personal insults, protests in front of our home that continue to this day and now threaten to escalate. So the New York Times may have added more fuel to the fire and might have caused more problems. Well, you may recall, because of the Roe versus Wade got kicked down to the states, while this was going on, they were having protests in front of the House. As for the appeal to heaven flag spotted in a vacation home, Alito said he is not aware of it until recently, and neither his wife was conscious of his connection to the Stop the Steal movement. Alito also noted his wife purchased a home, and the title is in her name. She did not fly it to associate herself with that or any other group, and the use of an old historical flag by a new group does not necessarily drain that flag of all the other meanings, he wrote in the letter. The flag dates back to the Revolutionary War, but most recently had been linked to the Christian nationalists. Oh boy. And Stop the Steal after the 2020 election. Christian nationalists? I take offense to that, ABC News. I take offense to that. You shouldn't be putting that in there. The justice quoted from the Code of Conduct adopted by the High Court last year that leads enforcement up to the justices themselves, arguing that the facts and the circumstances do not meet the bar for rescue and that he will not do so. I am confident that a reasonable person who is not motivated by politics or ideology, consideration, or desire to affect the outcome of a Supreme Court case would conclude that the events recounted above do not meet the applicable standard for rescue. Alito wrote, I am therefore required to reject your request. And, let's see. Okay, Durham and White, in their May 23rd letter, requested his recusal over the display. Wrote, Alito actively engaged in political activity, failed to avoid the appearance of impropriety, and failed to act in a manner that promotes public confidence in it, impartially, the judicial, whatever. Well, you know, I'm not good with words. I apologize. I failed in English, so you have to forgive me. He also created reasonable doubt about his impartiality Inability to fairly discharge his duties in cases related to the 2020 presidential election and the January 6th attack on the Capitol, the two wrote. Notice they didn't say insurrection, right? The Supreme Court is dealing with several blockbuster cases on the issue. In the coming weeks, justices will issue opinions whether Donald Trump is entitled to immunity from prosecution for his efforts to stay in the power at the 2020 election. And whether prosecutor improperly charged hundreds of January 6 rioters with felony obstruction. ABC News' Alexander Holzer contributed to the report. Basically, what they're saying is, let me see. This was written by Devin Dwyer. Let's give credit to that reporter. Anyway, what they're saying is because these flags were being flown, one is upside down, had something to do with Stop the Steal movement. Upside down flag means country under distress. And that's been like that for centuries. Since the American flag was first put together by Betsy Ross. So I don't know where they got the idea that an upside down flag is automatically Stop the Steal. They didn't show any indication that they were supporting this. And this stuff comes up now because somebody, being a horse's ass, didn't get their way with Claire Thomas, decided to try somebody else to screw over. And again, now that it's not happening, you know, basically what you clowns are doing, and you are the real clowns, not what the governor of New York or Robert De Niro calling clowns. You clowns in the media are doing stupid stuff that you shouldn't be doing because you're trying to affect the outcome of this situation because you want to get it your way to see Trump in jail or whatever it is you're trying to do, and it's not working. You might make the situation worse. You might have all 6 justices saying, we get Trump full immunity and screw you, and we're going to let all these January 6 folks go. Then what? Then you're going to have a field day, you're going to go nuts, and then you don't know what to do with yourself. I'm sorry, but, you know, you're supposed to mind your own business and stay out of the Supreme Court. There's rules and regulations about that. But it seems to me you didn't get your way with Clarence Thomas, so you tried to do it with another judge, and now you got godsmacked. Especially these 2 senators got godsmacked. You know, I don't know what's wrong with you folks. You know who you are. You know, you can't get your way, you trade something else to screw somebody else over, and it backfired. And now you got Chief Justice Roberts saying, no, we're not doing this. You don't like it, that's too bad. And even if you knock both those judges out, you still got 4 Republicans left on there. You're not going to be able to knock out all 6 to get the verdict you want. It's not going to happen. Simple as that. You tell them to follow the new standards. They follow the new standards, and you're not satisfied with that. Then you want to put something else in this place. You know, like Trump. I mean, I feel the frustration because I've been a defendant in the New York court system about 5 times, almost 6 times. I know what it's like. I had problems with ACS. I had problems with my former employer. They took me to court 4 times. Workman's comp. 3 times with the state Taylor law. Paperwork. And then almost happened one more time in 2013. And they got smacked that day that they tried to file the paperwork. Because unfortunately 2 trains had 2 12-9s on the same day. That means somebody got hit by a train. The problem was Both trains were at 125th Street, one inside the station, one outside the station, and the rush hour service was knocked down the Lexington Avenue line, and we didn't have the 2nd Avenue subway back then. So the whole east side was shut down. And when the both trains had black boxes, when they retrieved the black boxes, they found out that both trains were operating normal speed. The authority, the USA Transit, was claiming that a rule book slowdown was going on, and they were going to try to hit us with the tail law. You know, a $2,000 fine and double every day for any job action. Problem was, when the black box came back, that there was no job action going on. These two officials got egg in the face. These two officials had a press conference saying they were going to take us to court, hit us with the tail law. They had egg in their face, and you never saw them on TV again because they were freaking embarrassed. So this could happen again with the Trump situation. Yes, they got him by the balls, but guess what? Sooner or later, you're going to lose grip on those balls, and then what? If he becomes president, I wouldn't want to be you when he comes after you. That's for sure. And what Robert De Niro says, oh, he's not going to lead the way. He left the first time. What makes you think he's not going to lead the second time? You got Trump deranged syndrome, my friend. You cannot function in society. You can't even win an Oscar. Robert Downey Jr. won the Oscar from you because your acting sucks. End of story. And take a flag and shove it up your ass while you're at it. So this is Alcan saying so long for now, and don't forget your stop. De Niro has been. Ugh.